Hello! Hi everybody, it's teacher Laura from VIPKID. I just wanted to share a few of my favorite homemade props that cost $0 because I know when you're starting this gig with VIPKID, you don't want to spend money until you know you're going to get money in return. So here's some of my favorite props that I used. For reference, I only teach trials in level 2 and level 3 right now, so these are ones that I find useful in those levels. That's my baby. I'll show you really fast. She's hanging out on the bed, listening to me talk. Okay, first one. I made these for winter camp, which I taught a few weeks ago, a bunch of winter camp lessons, and it was about feelings. And they were the most simple things. I made them at like 3 in the morning. One morning, happy, sad. It's a paper plate glued to, taped to a knife. It's so low budget, excited, and angry. And wouldn't you know, these are the silliest, most useful props ever. So every class, right, you start out by saying, how are you? And they usually say something like, I am happy, or I am fine, or at least might point to their face or whatever. So if they don't respond, this is what I do. Are you happy or sad? And I use these, and then it helps the conversation, especially for kids who are shy and don't really know the words yet. Very easy. Look at this. I literally pulled up my phone and made them look like emojis, colored in yellow. $0 spent. You probably have this in your pantry. Okay? Another very useful one, and if you've taught the level 2.1 trial, you'll know exactly what this is. There's an octopus slide. It's so random, right? It's octopus that has ought and up. So I cut this out of a paper plate again because I wanted it to be kind of hard. I didn't have any hard paper. And I just wrote ought and up, and I made some, can you see the little slits? Then I put the letters, random letters that some are nonsense words, some are actual words. And then you just slide it through. Look at this. So simple. And I say, what word? Top. What word? Hop. And it's just a handy little prop to have. It extends the learning a little bit with more letters than are on the slide, and it gives them a visual to look at. I like to bring it right up to the screen, and it seems random, but if you know the slide I'm talking about, it's very, very helpful. Another thing I use all the time, again, not beautiful by any means, but I use my Meg and my Mike. Everybody's going to need a Meg and a Mike eventually. If you teach for more than a couple lessons, you're going to want a Meg and a Mike. Here's how I made them. I screenshot their pictures off a random slide. I picked this one because it had the name Meg on it, and I really liked that. I don't have a color printer. That's how ghetto these are. And I just did them black and white, printed them out. I put packing tape, you can see it's shiny, to make them a little more resilient, and taped them to a straw. I use these every lesson, all the time. So Meg and Mike. I also have Mom and Dad, because there's a lot of lessons about family. I have Mom and Dad and Lisa. That's a really handy one. You can do this for many things. The only other ones I've made are the flags, because that was from my mock class, actually. I use these a lot. Okay, so things on straws, that's helpful. I also suggest you get a little tiny photo album. This is like a kid photo album from my daughter with useful pictures. Here are ones that I use all the time. First of all is my family, and I have a Christmas one because there are lessons about holidays that are it's very useful to have a Christmas picture. You can talk about Christmas. I always use this picture. It's of my parents and my brother. So there's slides about Grandma and Grandpa. And then my 3 girls. The other one I use all the time is my dog. And then you can see here, this way. I live in Minnesota. It snows all the time, very cold. It's a conversation piece, and it's helpful with the lessons about weather. And I have a few pictures of snow, so they can see all the snow, and that's my daughter all bundled up. And then this is the picture our biggest snowman we made. Another handy one has been this one. It's a picture of my daughter fishing. Can you see the little fish? There's a couple slides about fishing with Grandpa. That was like the slide title, and it just helped to have fishing. So handy pictures, whatever pictures you can find. One last thing, you'll do assessments eventually, and I printed this out. This is just a generic one, and I put smiley faces where the things usually are. And not every assessment has 5 levels, some have 6, but this is handy just so they can see where we're going. And I use it with the Meg or the Mike, and I show that they're going to travel from level 1 to level 2 to level 3 to level 4 to level 5. Gives it a little more interaction on that slide, which otherwise you're just kind of like writing on the screen or whatever, but it's not very useful. So I like having this little unit assessments printout. And then one more thing, I have done a few of these, again going back to my paper plates. This is the teacher in me, I know it's kind of cheesy, but I did ill, all. You teach a lot of ill, all words in level 2. So I just did, you can see, what word is it? Bell. And then you slide it over, well, tell. Oh, let's do all now. Ball. And you just slide a ball around, fill, fell, fall, and just gives a little more extension. I have ill, all, I have an, at, am, and I have, my daughter must have taken it, in, and, at, of ease. So those are handy, very useful to me. And one more thing. I had a hard time explaining the parts of a VIPKID classroom, so I drew it out, laminated, with masking, with packing tape. And this is how I teach: screen, headphones, mouse, keyboard, and classroom. Put them all together. I just hand drew them. They are not fancy, but it's helpful to have something because I can't exactly show my screen. I don't have an extra computer lying around that I can lift up and show. I don't have extra headphones other than the ones I'm wearing, so it'd be me like taking them off. And I can't show you the keyboard because that would be weird. It'd be like showing the screen like this. It doesn't really work. So those are some of my most helpful props that I've used, and all have cost me $0. Just takes a little time and creativity. So I hope that helps you in your first few months of teaching, and good luck with teaching. It's so fun.